A primitive mystery appeared before my eyes, something between myth, legend, and vision, almost as if God himself breathed life into it. Truth is, its uniqueness can only be understood by those who really know this place. And, as a matter of fact, I can say I do either. Thus wrote Dolores Prato in her novel Giù la piazza non c'è nessuno, as she emphasized how the whole tradition of cocce, literally pots, wasn't about pottery alone, but rather to be seen as the result of history on people, a quiet and hard-working community speaking through their craft. A journey into the relationships of this hidden gem in the MArC hillside. First, an endless thank you to scholars Mario Buldorini and Roberto Bronzi, as this exhibition wouldn't be possible without the support of their incredible work Terra, Acqua, Fuoco, Anima, Earth, Water, Fire, Soul, which tells us the story of a whole community. An incredibly hard-working one, capable of turning plain natural elements into something unique on their own. Finally, an equally big thank you to local governments who supported us in organizing and promoting this event. An incredible journey, and maybe an opportunity for the locals to look into their own past, a not so distant one, to be fair, and for visitors to go back in time and grasp where Appignano's future rests. We'll start by showing to you a map of Appignano's pottery along with its major historical sites. We will then proceed to explain the early stages of clay preparation, from the tools involved in clay processing to the drying process, and up to the complex work of firing, summarized through an infographic. It will then be portrayed a selection of the town's most iconic pieces, whose primitive, plain, straightforward design reflects MArC's long-standing rural way of life as its best. After that, by means of a summary table, we will proceed to visualize the differences between present-day society and their way of living, so deeply bound to manual work. Then, a focus on the most important piece of equipment for any potter, the potter's wheel. Subsequently, a list of Appignano's most popular and best documented biographies. In conclusion, a look of modern ceramics, with an in-depth look at colors and decorative techniques used nowadays. Le Casette, Borgo Santa Croce, the Potter's Street. A road of white gravel, its sidewalks covered with potsherds and its buildings coated in black soot. Potters leave their doors open, while chatting and joking. The clattering of scorching bricks and pots leaving the kiln and the crackling of fire are the only sounds for a while. In the background, virocci, carts loaded with firewood and clay, and the potters' wives carrying water jugs on their heads. They keep an eye on the screaming kids as they play their favorite game, hoop rolling. Red Clay Quarry, known as Cerretà, land belonged to Ucincia, located along Contrada Verdefiore, connecting Appignano to Botontano past Villa delle Cento Finestre, literally 100-windowed villa, rich in iron, thus of a vivid red color. Potters used to go for top layers of fine earth without rock fragments, which otherwise would have to be removed one by one. Yellow Clay Quarry, land belonged to Cesare de Governato, located along present-day Via Manzoni. Pale yellow clay, known to be wonderful to craft with. Without rocky fragments, just slightly sandy and highly plastic, making it perfect for molding vases and jugs, while being less ideal for crafting kiln-fired pottery. Macinitti, type of rudimentary mill used to grind iron stones used for making glazes. In order to let the water run at a speed sufficient to power the millstones, a ditch was opened along the banks of Monocchia Creek. Based on the paper Terra, Acqua, Fuoco, Anima, literally Earth, Water, Fire, Soul by Mario Buldorini and Roberto Bronzi, this summary table wants to visualize everyday elements in the life of Appignano's master potters, the tools and the natural elements involved in the process of pottery making, people, names and landmarks through an insight into the collective memory of the village of Appignano.